people's culture, especially in the business that I run. It is all about bricks and mortar. But where you make the money is when you connect with the people. And the people have cultures. When you understand their cultures, and you can actually understand who they are. When you understand who they are, you can serve them better. Hey, it is TJ, Taurai Jack. The book is in the click. I think this is a fascinating book. It is one of the books that I've read about cultures. I've gone on to read plenty other books around cultures. And if this book here is one of those books that you would like to read, I say click in the link below and drive into it. And if you have read it, or if you have read any other books around culture, what have you learned? And who are you? Who are you? What is the fascinating thing about your culture, and where you come from? And yeah, I would like to hear from you in the comments. Welcome to M5 Property Addicts channel, where we talk anything and everything about property and real estate. And like a Saturday, we talk about books. And today we will be talking about a cool book that has made me grow. And if this is your thing and you have never subscribed or you haven't subscribed, now is the time for you to hit that button and subscribe. My name is TJ, Taurai Jack, and I'm an active property investor in 4 cities in a country called South Africa. Here in South Africa, yeah, in 4 cities, and we do business in Johannesburg, Pretoria, Cape Town, and Durban. Yeah, and if I'm not doing that, I am a teacher. I like to teach other people so that they can become also investors like me and earn some passive income for themselves. And I've got a business that's called the M5 Property Varsity, which is where we teach others. And if I'm not doing that, I write books. And this is my latest book that I wrote, which is called From Bad Debt to Property Mogul. And you can get it on our websites and all of that stuff. Hey, right, as it is a Saturday. As it is a Saturday, not a Saturday. It is a Saturday. And we don't only talk about property, but we focus on a particular books that have made me grow to where I am today. And I'm still a student. And I want to talk about a book, actually. The idea of this is that we share these ideas and we also learn from them. So in today's book is a book actually that I read a few years ago, and I have gone back to read it from time to time again, and it has made me to be a curious person amongst people. So I want to state the fact that before I introduce this book, actually maybe let me reintroduce it. So the book is called Glued Upon Culture. Glued Upon Culture. Right, it's a very small book, easy to read. And yeah, and this book here particularly focuses on the cultures within our society within South Africa. Why did I read this book? Hey, Taurai, you're always reading these weird books. No, why did I read this book? And why do I go back and reflect on it from time to time? It's pretty simple. In my business about property, it is mortar and bricks. That's what property is in real term. But behind the property actually sits real people. Sits with people that have cultures, that have certain beliefs, that think in preconceived ideas, that think about all sorts of crazy things, right? And when I was going into business, I wanted to understand people because I knew that people will make the business. If you understand people, if you love people, people are going to make you successful. It is not the property that makes you successful, because property is just bricks and mortar. It is about relationships that you are going to build with people. So then, how best do you learn the relationships? How about starting to learn other people's cultures? So in here, I am going to share a couple of things that I learned from this book, right? And again, on this book here, like I always do with all the other books, I am going to share the link. The link is the link is in below here of how you can get hold of this book. It's an easy read, very small read, around about 160 pages. But in all of it, I like the way that they cover this book. I like the way they cover this book. So in this book here, they cover what they call the African society. So should I say the African culture? But we all know that there is many dialects. There's many cultures within the African context. And they speak about the Southern African traditional, right? I like the way that they write it down here, traditional. But they speak about Christianity. They speak about Hindu. They speak about Hindu, yeah. They speak about Hindus. And they speak about Muslims, Islam, which is Muslim, Judaism, and all of these others that some of the cultures that I knew I didn't even know, right? But in all of them, they are all people that are living amongst us, you know. So if you're one of those people that are living in the modern South Africa, where it is not like, you know, super segregated, where you just have like certain people living in certain areas, well, things have changed quite a lot. Now, this book here will make you understand people, the different cultures that are out there, why they do what they do, right? Or when someone is born, why do they do what they do? When someone is getting married, why do they have a dot, right? It is not a dot. It symbolizes something. You know, when someone is going to get married, why do they have tattoos? We call them tattoos, but they're not. It's a symbol, right? When someone is getting married or someone is late, why are we dressed in black? It again means something. So this book here tries to attempt at large, what all of those things are, and this from celebrations times to all the days that you need to observe. And I really do have enjoyed this book, and I think it has given me a limelight into other people's cultures. And whenever I have met other people, I am not really in the dark about certain things, right? So that's the first thing. I'm not really in the dark about certain things. I can engage with confidence and I can talk about it. But let me cover the five things that I learned about this book, which covers generally our cultures around our country. The first one is, there are many cultures out there. The first one is, there are many cultures out there, but we are all the same. That was my first one. It was an aha moment, right? And I realized that, oh, actually, you know, we all have all these rituals, we all have these things that we do, but out of it, we are all born the same. We all breathe the same air. We all have pain. We all have eyes, and if we don't have, we are all blind. And we all have blood. And you get the gist. I can go on. I can go on. We all make poo. We all make pee. Eventually, we all die. So are we not all the same? We are. And with that, it gave me comfort to actually now starting to understand other people and like say, if I want something, I can approach anyone without thinking of being discriminated, belittling it, because all of those now are facades of behaviors that we can put upon the cultures that we have. But otherwise, as a naked being, as a soul, we're all the same. Right, that's according to Taurai. Right, number two, and that's what I learned. Number two, what I learned. Culture is what you make it. Culture is what you make it. I have seen people and I have noticed that people actually, they might come from a certain culture and a Hindu one, Christianity one. But if they decide to be whoever they want to be, they can become anything. So culture is what you make it. So I'll give you an example. I decided in my household, though I observe other cultures, though I appreciate other cultures, though I am inquisitive about other cultures, though I have friends who are Muslim, friends that are Hindu, friends that are Jewish, friends that are atheist, friends that are whatever you name it. I've got a wider range of friends, and together I've got customers. Some of them, I don't even know what their culture is. But for me, I know who I am, and I've got that. So I have become what I want to be, because culture is what you make it. That's my learning there from that book there. And I realized that, hey, you can grow up Jewish, actually, and you can turn out to be anything else, right? I've seen plenty of people who are like that. But the third thing that I've also learned is that we seem to love and hate because of culture. We have all seen what is happening throughout the world. I don't need to spell that out to you. It is out there in the newspapers and things like that. But do we really have to, especially on the hate side? Do we really have to? Because of the differences that we've got on culture. How about we seek to understand why? And I think for me, that was the one thing that I took away when I realized that we actually seem to actually either love deeply because of we are of the same culture, and we also do the opposite. And I started seeking to understand that maybe for me to have a balance, let me understand the other culture. If I understand them, potentially I can respect them for who they are, because they're still a human being that needs to be respected after all. The fourth thing that I learned was that irrespective of the different cultures, irrespective of who they are, irrespective of their beliefs, love anyways. Love anyways. So what do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? They are Muslim. They're going to practice whatever they're going to practice. Because it's different from me, I don't have to hate. I still need to love them. Right? Okay. And because they perform things that I don't understand, do I need to be of hate? No. But I need to be appreciative. I need to be accommodative so that they can be who they are. And in return, they can also let me to be. And which is why it is fascinating. So for some of you, you might have never realized it, that actually, you know, when we're doing ceremonial stuff in the country, we have prayers from here to there, right? Why? Because we're observing and giving respect to every culture. We've got to pray in the Hindu, we've got to pray in the Christianity, we've got to pray in the Muslim. It goes on, it goes on. We recognize the ancestors and all of those things. Why? It's love everybody. Give the space to everybody. And if you understand that there is differences, you don't have to hate, you don't have to diss, because they're doing what you don't understand or what you don't like. But the point is that when you start understanding all of this, and especially if you're in business, it starts making sense. And you can do business comfortably without closing one eye and you're thinking, oh, they are going to do this because they are this of this culture. You can do business comfortably because you have a solid understanding of the basis of their culture, and you can let them be, right? And you can act appropriately. You can act in the right manner. And I've got some of my friends who are very orthodox. So there are certain things from a man and a female that can be done. And because they are orthodox, right? That's who they believe. And I respect those boundaries, right? And I'm at ease with other people because I can see that they are at ease within their beliefs and their cultures. So if you understand that, you understand how to react with people, how to work around them, and how to be within their circles. And with that, we can all respect each other and carry on with life. That was the fourth thing that I learned. And the last thing that I learned is that anything you believe, so you become. Anything you believe, so you become. I am not here to preach about, anything, but I realize that everyone and anyone who's in this book here, who is, can you guys see? Yeah. Oh, there you go. Anyone and everyone within this book who's practicing whatever they're practicing, you can never take them away from their practice. They become that. So, if you want to become who you want to become, great. We will support you, right? For as long it brings in peace and happiness amongst the society where we live, and we can all live in harmony, right? Now, what are the three things that I learned from this and that I started implementing? So the first one is, I realized that I can become who I want to become. I realized that I can become whom I want to become. And for that reason, I chose Christianity. I chose Christianity. And my family background, I'm actually, I think, maybe the first generation of hardcore Christianity, and I'm proud of it. My wife, she's, I think, second generation. And with that, it was a decision before I got married that I become a Christian and I practice Christianity. But I've got very close friends who are Muslims. I've got very close friends who are Jewish. And within our boundaries, all of these things, we celebrate what they celebrate when it is happening, right? And we recognize all of that. But I don't forget who I am. I chose. And for that reason, they also in turn respect who I am. Ironically, I actually have friends who are married. One is Muslim and the other one is Christian. And it has always been a fascinating thing for me to see how will their child turn out. But that's a conversation for another story on a very serious note of the faith that we choose to have. But for today, we're talking about the cultures around us and how best you can navigate within the society to do business with different cultures. And in my view, this book here gave me that guidance in terms of, you can learn to observe other people's cultures. And with that, you can do business comfortably without having to be a little bit weird around other people. The second thing that I implemented is that I don't have to hate other people because I don't understand, right? I don't have to hate other people because I don't understand. This is what happens normally. When we don't understand something and it's not right to us because of our beliefs, then they are wrong, then there. So the blame component kicks in. And I'm of the view that, this book here was an eye-opener of the different cultures that we have in our societies and how best I can respect those societies and how best I can live in harmony with all of those within the society across board. Guess what? I didn't know actually, until much later in my life, because I was never exposed to some people, some people in their cultures. For instance, I'll give you an example. I think early on in my years of working, I hadn't been exposed to a lot of Muslim people. So at first, it was pretty weird for me to see a guy wearing a dress. Until I read the book, I realized, no, it's not a dress. Taurai, wake up. But because I didn't know, because that was my only exposure at that time, right, I would call it a dress, and yet it's not a dress. Again, I want to talk about the fact that I would see a woman with a dot on her head. I wonder, why does she have a dot on her head? What's wrong with her? Is something wrong? Is it a plaster? No, it's not, right? It symbolizes something. And if we seek to understand, I think when we are now engaging with those people, it is very clear on how we can engage them because we are in the know, right? Then the third thing that I learned, culture is very fascinating actually. The third thing that I learned is that I became more curious about cultures. And each time I meet different people and someone's got what I might think is a funny name, complicated name, difficult name to pronounce, I am always after to seek to understand. And if you've met me before, you know, I always ask you, what does that mean? Because I'm curious now. My curiosity has been heightened to understand others. Why are they called that name? Where are they from? What do they practice? Why do they practice that? And from time to time in my household, they know that on a Sunday, some days when I'm done, you know, having my conversations with Jesus, I like to actually just watch things like the history channels and where I zoom in and I'm seeing like different cultures being explored and things like that, from Peru to Africa to the plenty of the islands that we've got into the Asian rich countries that still practice ancient traditions. And it fascinates me. That's what fascinates me. And out of this book, it has taught me actually to just love all, to just love all. What do I mean by loving all? I mean that you can accept people for who they are. You can give them the space to practice what they want to practice. And in turn, they can also do the same. And above all, when you have that kind of respect, people respect you back for who you are as well, right? And that's my view around culture. It's a fascinating story. We can go on about this story. Everything that we do, especially in the business that I run. All in all, it is my view around this bricks and mortar is more around where you make the money is when you connect with the people. And the people have cultures. When you understand their cultures, and you can actually understand who they are. When you understand who they are, you can serve them better. Hi, TJ. Taurai Jack. We'll speak again soon. God bless. Cheers. Bye.